Ha guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Ex-NBA exec praises Warriors Klay Thompson sign and trade move. The Golden State Warriors move to sign and trade Klay Thompson to the Dallas Mavericks was one of the 5 underrated off-season moves according to The Athletic's John Holland. The former Memphis Grizzlies executive praised the Warriors front office for extracting value out of Thompson under difficult circumstances rather than overpay a declining player for the vibes. The Warriors parried him into 2 different players, Buddy Hield and Kyle Anderson, who combined will make less money than Thompson and random minimum contract. Guy Holliner wrote on August 21, "There's a good chance each individually will matter more to the Warriors than Thompson would have to. Thompson seems like a good fit in Dallas incidentally, but Golden State is not Dallas." The Warriors were happy to assist Thompson get more money from Dallas, a 3-year $50 million deal in exchange for landing the 2 veterans in the complex 16 trade. Holliner said the Warriors got the best replacement for Thompson and Hield. The Warriors replaced a 41% career 3-point shooter with a 40% career 3-point shooter, and Hield is 3 years younger, less destructively thirsty inside the arc and more capable of guarding the perimeter. Hield isn't exactly a DPI candidate, but Thompson has reached a point where he mostly has to be hidden on 4s. Holliner wrote Hield and Stephen Curry were already being hyped as the Splash Buddies and owed to the Splash Brothers moniker. Curry and Thompson as Warriors teammates. The 31-year-old Hield averaged 12.1 points and 3.2 rebounds per game with the Indiana Pacers and the Philadelphia 76ers last season. "I don't see nothing wrong with it, but we just got to take it day by day," Hield told reporters per 95.7 The Game when asked for reaction about the Splash Buddies moniker with Curry. "Hield will have large shoes to fill, but he looks to be up to task as he is one of the most prolific 3-point shooters not named." Curry and Thompson hitting 40% on a high-volume 7.6 attempts in his career. Holliner also likes the fit of Anderson with the Warriors. "Slow-mo is a tough fit for some rosters because of his limited floor spacing, but in a Warriors system that's all about reading, reacting and IQ, he should be perfect." He averaged 3.5 assists for every turnover last year as a point forward in Minnesota and likely can fill a similar role when Stephen Curry is off the floor. Holliner wrote about Anderson. Additionally, he was by far the Wolves' best Luka Doncic defender in the Western Conference Finals. Anderson averaged 6.4 points, 4.2 assists and 3.5 rebounds in 22.6 minutes off the bench last season for the Timberwolves. In the 2022-23 season, he shot a career-high 41% from the 3-point distance, although on a small volume. As a bonus, the Warriors also signed to Anthony Melton with the full mid-level exception as a direct result of Thompson's exit, as they went below the tax apron for the first time in many years. While Hollander said the Thompson for Hield and Anderson swap won't put the Warriors back in the title chase on their own, they managed to get 3 veteran players who fit their style without costing them their first-round draft capital. Livingston creates perfect starting lineup of his former teammates. Sean Livingston was a guest on the Knuckleheads podcast where was asked to make a starting 5, naming only his former teammates. Livingston named Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant from his time with the Warriors and Joe Johnson and Kevin Garnett from his brief stint with the Brooklyn Nets. "I got to be in it. Steph Curry, KD, Kevin Durant, ticket Kevin Garnett, and then we're small so we're going to space it out, so I need shooters around me. Probably going to go with Joe Johnson. Shout out Joe ISO Joe." Livingston got the chance to play with some great players during his career in the NBA. His decision to go with Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant is obvious as he won multiple championships with both players on T. He Warriors, and many consider their 2017 team to be the greatest in NBA history. Livingston himself was a crucial part of the Warriors teams that won 3 NBA championships while mostly coming off the bench. Livingston provided important scoring for the team when some of the star players took a breather. Livingston also had the ability to make some important shots for the Warriors, especially in clutch timers for Kevin Garnett and Joe Johnson. There is no doubt that neither player was past their best when Livingston Livingston played with them on the nets, but both KG and ISO Joe are two of the most dynamic offensive players in modern NBA history, so their inclusion also makes sense in this list. One can imagine what Livingston would have been able to achieve if he got to play with Kevin Garnett and Joe Johnson when all three players were in their primes. Perhaps Livingston would have more championships in his trophy cabinet. In the same interview, Livingston was asked to answer some difficult questions. First, he was asked what his most expensive purchase ever was. Livingston was then asked to play start-bench trade with three modern players: Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Damian Lillard. NBA fans speculate after Stephen Curry removes Warriors guard from his Instagram bio. Fresh off winning gold at the Paris Olympic Games this summer, Warriors star Stephen Curry finds himself in the headlines once again. This time it has to do with his latest activity on social media, which has sparked speculation from countless fans all over the basketball community. It should be noted that his Twitter account still includes his affiliation with the Warriors, but his Instagram seems to be focused entirely on his Olympic run, and there is no word on when he plans to change it again. For years, Curry had Warriors guard proudly displayed in his Instagram bio. He would also typically use a profile picture of him in Warriors gear, further displaying his loyalties to the team that drafted him. That's how it looked yesterday before Steph decided to change it. Fans notice the change after Curry's collaboration post with LeBron James, where they celebrated their time as teammates at the Olympics this summer. The duo became the star attraction this summer, and it's clear they developed a deeper bond after winning gold for their home country. Still, fans find themselves wondering why Curry would explicitly remove his mention of the Warriors. By some counts it doesn't mean anything serious, and it's just a way for staff to highlight and celebrate his latest achievement, the Olympic gold. For others, however, it's a sign that he is growing distant with the Warriors. The history between Curry and LeBron is well known at this point. They've met in the NBA Finals 4 times over their careers, and their latest showdown was in the 2023 West semi-finals with 8 championships between them. James and Steph are the two greatest legends of the modern NBA, and their respect for each other is immense. This summer was their first time as teammates outside of the All-Star game, and the experience left everyone wanting more. At 39 and 36 respectively, nobody should hold their breath on LeBron James and Stephen Curry ever joining forces again, but it did almost happen last season. Before the trade deadline, the Lakers and Warriors were in talks to make a deal that would have made the icons teammates, but NBA super agent Rich Paul shut it down before it could gain any traction. Even after all of that, fans are still dreaming of a world where LeBron and Curry can play together and close off their storied careers as teammates competing for a championship as friends, classy professionals and generational talents. There's no doubt that the two would form a powerful tandem that would wreak havoc on the league. Of course, with both players under contract, it's only by trade that they could become teammates in the future, but we know the scenario is unlikely to happen. Curry has been loyal to the Warriors his whole life, and we have it on good authority that the franchise intends to keep him on their roster until the end of his career. So in regards to Stephen Curry's social media bio, only he can say what his motivations are behind changing it, but after such an electric run with the best players in the world, you can't blame the fans for dreaming about Curry and LeBron joining forces for the final leg of their careers. If nothing else, it would be a fitting end for two of the greatest players of the modern NBA. And you fan, what do you think of the situation of Stephen Curry? Leave your opinion in the comments.